Good morning. We need to talk about your ego this morning. The second worst reason to start a startup is that you need personal recognition. Maybe your father didn't love you. Maybe you were bullied at school. Or maybe you want to quit your job and show your former boss how high you can fly. Either way, your ego is going to start writing checks that your limited startup budget can't cash. And where are those checks going to go? Well, they're going to go the only place that can fill that gaping hole inside you that needs love. They're going to go to PR. I've seen idea stage founders give away enormous lumps of equity or huge checks that have crashed their business into a brick wall at 100 miles an hour just to be in the newspaper for a day or to be on daytime television for 5 minutes. And both of those things, bear in mind, do absolutely nothing for an idea stage startup. PR is a slow burn tool. It creates a little tiny bit of recognition, and with continual PR, with continual presence within social media or the news or popular culture in some way, people will start to recognize your brand and make a decision to come to it. It takes a concerted effort over a long period of time to move the needle a little bit. When you're an idea stage founder, you want to do something small, immediate, and critically measurable. Let's look at the difference between the two methods of getting customers here, right? So let's imagine you get yourself in the Metro in the morning or some other daily newspaper that's available where you are. And people decide that they like the sound of the story and they want to come and have a look at what you're doing. It's really hard to know how they're going to come to you. There's no easy way to recognize, did they Google you and find you? Did they type your URL into a browser? Did they pick up the phone and call you? Did they ask their mate to refer them to you? Really hard to know how they came to you, and therefore really hard to measure the results, particularly if you've got anything else going on at the same time. There's some really noisy geese over there. Now, let's have a look at something like pay-per-click marketing, right? So if you're doing pay-per-click marketing, you can control exactly where the person that's clicking goes to. You can create a unique ID for that click, and you can measure not only how many people land on your, landing page, convert to a sale, and then go and buy something, and then go and buy something else, and all of those good things. You can stick a hat on them that says they came from this very specific marketing message, and they came all the way through the funnel. You can then change your marketing message. You can change which channel you put a pay-per-click advert on. It is incredibly measurable. At idea stage, measurement is everything. Idea stage is about science. You want to measure every single thing and iterate and improve it. You cannot measure PR. Additionally, consider this. To be in a newspaper for a day, a few newspapers on page 7, page 8, and to be on television for 5 minutes during the day, once, is going to set you back about £25,000, about $30,000, right? And the net result of that is probably going to be about 50 leads to your application, right? 50 leads. They're not customers, mind you. They'll just be 50 people that find you by some means and come and have a look at what you're doing. £25,000, $30,000. Those 50 leads from some kind of direct route like pay-per-click or social advertising, they're going to cost you about $10 a lead. So they're going to cost you $500. Big difference and measurable. Putting the marketing maths aside, this points to another problem though. It points to the fact that you're putting you personally ahead of your startup, ahead of your value proposition. And that probably means that your value proposition, your growth hypothesis, your value hypothesis have had very little thought. You're just hoping that this thing that you've cobbled together is going to do enough to make you famous. And so you've diminished it in importance. You're not focused on making it good, right? Now, if you think about it, even the big personality-led brands that are out there, so brands led by Beyonce or Jay-Z or Kanye West or Mr. Beast, came from a product first. They came from their music, or they came from their YouTube channel, or something that people actually wanted to see. And slowly but surely they created a celebrity, and that celebrity could then leverage their celebrity to become a brand. You aren't a brand. You can't just walk into the world and say, hey, I'm really important. The stuff I do should be purchased. Now, I am aware of the irony of saying curb your ego while walking along with a selfie stick in my hand. However, there is a small caveat, which is that people do like to know that there is a person and a personality behind a startup. And sometimes the quickest way of getting your message out is just to stand here and talk. But you can only do this once you know you have a product that people want to buy. We didn't start doing these videos until Million Labs had been around for 3 years. Bear that one in mind. So, curb your ego, focus on your growth hypothesis, your value hypothesis. How are you going to win customers? How are you going to keep customers? And critically, how can you prove that for the least money the soonest you possibly can? One final point, I did say that your ego was the second biggest mistake, or the second worst reason for starting a startup. The first, of course, is that you want to be rich. And as we all know, the most likely outcome from starting a startup is that you will end up poor. If you want to be rich, go and work in banking. If you want to learn more about early stage testing for startups, how you should get out into the market and test your proposition, you can contact us by coming to millionlabs.co.uk, or you can email us at hello@millionlabs.co.uk. We will email back because we're nice. Cheers.